Very good afternoon and warm welcome to everyone. It is with great pleasure and immense excitement that we stand before you today to inaugurate Samanvaya Chapter 1 of the academic year 2024-2023. Samanvaya, the annual HR conclave of IIM Kashipur, is more than just an event. It is a confluence of ideas, insights, and innovations that shape the future of human resource management. Each year, we gather thought leaders, industry experts, and passionate professionals to engage in meaningful dialogue, explore emerging trends, and share best practices. Samanvaya is a place where the brightest minds come together to navigate the complexities of today's business environment, fostering a spirit of collaboration and continuous learning that drives both individuals and organizations. At Kashipur, our commitment to innovative approach and nurturing future leaders has always been at the forefront of addressing the evolving challenges and opportunities in the business world. Let's now quickly enjoy a short introductory video of IIM Kashipur.
The Institute of Management Kashipur is the second generation IIM set by the government of India in 2011. In all these years, the Institute stands true to its vision and mission. Our vision is to be an institute of eminence that fosters management research and education and develops leaders for creating positive societal impact in a changing world. And the mission of IIM Kashipur is to create and disseminate knowledge through applied and interdisciplinary research and practice in emerging areas of management. IIM Kashipur, a completely student-driven campus, from placements to functional work, from academic to non-academic activities, there is a student body of each discipline. Being a part of such student bodies and event-specific teams, students get first-hand experience of time management, working in a team, situation handling, and managing positive relationships with the administration. We aim to achieve new heights with every new batch of students. We celebrate the ups and downs of the journey of our beloved students and would like to wish them luck for upcoming years.
We have seen MBA Next, shaping tomorrow's business leaders, holds significant relevance as we address the shifting demands of leadership in today's dynamic environment. The scene captures the essence of what it means to be a leader in today's rapidly changing world. In an era where technology, globalization, and shifting societal expectations are constantly reshaping the business landscape, the role of the MBA has evolved. The scheme invites us to explore how we can prepare the next generation of leaders to not only just navigate these changes, but to drive innovation and create lasting impact. Future-proofing careers, developing agile mindsets in business leadership is a topic that directly addresses the demand of today's unpredictable and fast-changing business world. As industries evolve and challenges emerge, the ability to adapt quickly and think on your feet is essential for long-term success. As in an era where traditional leadership approaches are no longer sufficient due to constant change and disruption. Developing an agile mindset empowers leaders to navigate uncertainty with confidence, fostering innovation and resilience in their teams. Today, we'll explore how cultivating this mindset is key to future-proofing careers and driving sustainable leadership in the face of continuous transformation. In order to dig deep into these topics, we have a few of the most competent minds from the industry. First, we would like to introduce Mr. Ravikanth Venkata Eranki, talent acquisition lead at Cargill, who brings over 2 decades of diverse recruitment experience. He leads strategic initiatives from Cargill India South Asia region, focusing on recruitment strategies, talent acquisition, and building cohesive teams. Throughout his career, Ravikanth sir has gained valuable experience in sales consulting, corporate environments, and entrepreneurial ventures. Before joining Cargill, he held key positions in startups, mid-sized outsourcing companies, telecommunication, and staffing industries. Known for his customer-centric approach, Sir excels at attracting top talent by implementing recruitment and attraction strategies that align with organizational goals. We welcome you, sir. We now request Professor Deepak, Chair of Placements, to present a welcome bouquet to Ravikanth. Head of People and Culture at Deluxe, plays a crucial role in shaping work environment and ensuring that our HR strategies in India are closely aligned with business goals. Its primary focus is on building a thriving work culture, enhancing employee engagement, and establishing Deluxe as an employer of choice in the industry. Through strategic leadership and innovative HR practices, he aims to directly impact our ability to attract, develop, and retain top talent, driving us sustained success. He is committed to further advancing organizations' workforce and workplace practices to achieve new levels of excellence. With over 17 years of diverse experience in HR management across various industries and sectors, he brings extensive expertise in strategic planning, business partnering, employee relations, performance management, and talent development. His passion lies in creating inclusive and collaborating work environments where employees are empowered to reach their full potential. Throughout his career, he has led numerous initiatives and programs focused on improving employee engagement, recognition, and satisfaction, as well as streamlining HR operations and processes. He has been recognized as a top 100 global HR influencer and to have previously served as an honorary executive committee member of HRBP Chennai chapter. We welcome you, sir. I would request Professor Shubham Sharma to please come and felicitate, sir. Next, we welcome Mr. Ramakrishna Rao, sir, who is the Chief Learning Officer at Page Industries Limited. He is a seasoned talent professional with over 18 years of experience in coaching, leadership development, talent management, and organizational transformation. He is currently the Chief Learning Officer at Page Industries Jockey, and throughout his career, he has supported organizations across IT, ITES, retail, and consumer product sectors. Sir is also a PCC certified coach from the International Coaching Federation, widely known in social circles as Coach now. He is an active LinkedIn blogger recognized for his insightful quotes and book summaries on topics like personal effectiveness, talent management, leadership development, and career building. His LinkedIn newsletter, Career Track, is among the platform's most followed. Sir has received numerous accolades, including LinkedIn Top Voice 2023, Chief Learning Officer of the Year 2022 and 2023, Top 35 Young HR Leaders Award by Tapni and TV Consulting 2022, Top 100 Global HR Influencers by Engagement. We welcome you, sir. We will now request Mr. Akanksha Nayal. Our moderator is first panel is Ms. Akanksha Nayal, the lead business analyst at USC. And I am now Akanksha Nayal. This girl brings over 6 years of experience in designing IT transformation and automation workflows, as well as managing product lifecycle. Her deep technical expertise and strategic insights make her exceptionally well equipped to guide our discussion today. With her background in driving innovation and efficiency in complex IT environments. This guide is evidently led us through today's topics, ensuring a thought-provoking and engaging session. Welcome, ma'am. We request Mr. Atul to please come and present a welcome bouquet to Jay, ma'am. I would request Pumna sir, Director IIM Kashipur, to please come and introduce the guest.
Good afternoon to everybody who have gathered here today for this Samanvaya 2024 program. We are extremely fortunate at IIM Kashipur to have a galaxy of distinguished corporate professionals who are attending today's Samanvaya 2024 presentation and this discussion panel. And I'm sure all our students will significantly benefit in terms of knowledge, insights, and the current trends that is happening pertaining to MBA graduates, the skill sets required, competency sets required for today's graduates in the rapidly changing macro business environment, where basically the IT revolution is also happening at a breakneck speed. So in that kind of environment, I'm sure basically all the key learnings and insights that will come from our distinguished panel of guests today, corporate guests today, it will be extremely beneficial for all our students. And regarding IIM Kashipur, just in a nutshell, right now we have 5 mainline programs, academic programs. We have the flagship MBA program. Then we have also the MBA Analytics program. Together, these 2 programs, we are having a batch strength of around 460 or so for last couple of years or so, around 460 or so. Then we have doctoral program, PhD program, and then we have so these programs run from our IIM Kashipur campus on a full-time basis. This 3 program we mentioned, MBA, MBA Analytics, and PhD. And then we have 2 executive programs also, academic programs. Right, out of that, executive MBA program runs from our Dehradun campus, our Dehradun setup, and that runs in a hybrid mode, mix of both offline and online mode. And then we have EMBA in analytics, which is primarily in online mode, but with a few campus insertion visits in between. So these are basically our 5 academic program, plus basically there is a lot of focus on research at IIM Kashipur, and basically our students are very active in IIM Kashipur, over and above significantly concentrating on academics. They also focus on variety of co-curricular and extracurricular activities through variety of committees and clubs, and our students contribute very significantly to our organization through all their academic and extracurricular and co-curricular activities and through all their efforts. So at the end, again, I welcome all our very distinguished corporate panelists, and I'm sure our students will benefit very, very significantly from their vast experience, and they will know about cutting edge insights about what is happening at the marketplace, at the macro business environment, the impact of IT, changing the business environment, changing the roles of MBA and MBA analytics students. So all these crucial insights will come from our panelists. And again, at the end, I sincerely thank all the contributing students who have taken a very significant role in conducting this Samanvaya 2024, our faculty members, concerned faculty members, the placement co-chairs, and then our placement executives, staff members. So all of them, the students, the concerned faculty members, and all the concerned staff members who have played a very significant role in conducting this Samanvaya 2024. Thank you to everybody. Thank you.
Yes, are passionate about bringing about positive changes in the HR industry and bring a wealth of expertise and knowledge to the table. We're extremely lucky to have these visionaries with us today, as they have made major contributions to defining the future of human resources. As we set out on this journey together, let us keep in mind that the conversations that spark among attendees are just as important to any today's success as the information presented on stage. We will request everyone to be involved, pose questions, and establish connections with the panelists and other leaders. Let's take this opportunity to gain, share knowledge, and develop a more robust and resilient professional. And Kashipur would like to extend our sincere gratitude to everyone who helped make this event possible, including our distinguished speakers, the organizing committee, and the staff. So, without further ado, let's welcome our guests once again. Their being here today is indicative of the dedication to the advancement of HR, and we are appreciative of the chance to gain knowledge from their perspective. We hope that our annual HR Conclave serves as a forum of growth, inspiration, and cooperation. Let's work together to reinvent workplace, confidently and creatively navigate the future of human resources. The floor is now open for the discussion. Over to you, Akanksha.
Thank you so much for the great introduction and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
So much for the great introduction and thank you so much for having us here. On behalf of the once again and panelists and I'm so glad for the session that you organized and also the background which will really make this discussion very insightful for sure. The topic for today, which is developing HR mindset in business leadership, is a very apt topic in this ever-changing business environment. In a world where we know change is the only constant, this is a very appropriate discussion with all these diverse panelists, which without further ado, I would like to start with a question to set the context of the discussion as to what the HR mindset is according to you and why do you think it is important in achieving career in today's world.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. So it's an interesting topic. So just now we have discussed it with all the organizing committee members. You are the guys who's doing the agile mindset and agile leadership to completely organizing the event. That is the first kickstart I can say that. So in my perspective, what is meant by agile leadership or what kind of skills is required for agile leadership? Probably we can start with the adaptability. See how you are adapting to the situation. So leave about after Corona. Adaptability is the first one which important for agile leadership. Okay, so while you are organizing any event, it's still you are finding so much of challenges and so much of situations. Okay, the best example. Okay, you have organized to five speaker. Definitely one problem will always there. So if you think about the recruitment time, so you need to adapting the situation, how make it a success for the current situation. That is the thing that's very important. And the second one, change management mindset. So you don't need only a plan B. You should have a plan till Z itself. You should have a plan. So everything, is there? You should have a more alternative. It's like how you are playing a match in sports. You should have more substitutes is already available. You should have more substitute of ideas. You should have available. That is the major thing, which I personally feel that the agile mindset. And other important thing is the collaboration, right? While you are organizing event itself, you need to collaborate with the multiple stakeholders, right? The same way, while you are implementing any business related stuff or as a leader, you need to be more collaborative, right? So as like a HR, you are going to make a decision implementing any important employee engagement activity without the support of finance or without the support of stakeholders, you're not able to implementing anything. So the collaborative mindset, which is not only within your team, it will be the multiple different teams there. You should have a collaborative mindset. Then only you can able to implement solutions, right? So these are all the key factors. Is always I'm insisting. You don't consider that it will be happen after Corona. The same thing before Corona also. In my personal experience, we have done it. So while as a HR, while you're implementing any policies or procedures, you need to adapt the situation of the company. You need rewards and recognition. It won't work, right? Then the same way, it's like how you are collaborating with the team. Also, same thing like. So without a budget or proper budgeting in place, you are not able to implement anything in HR. So that is related with in line with the business or in line with your business improvement or in line with your employee productivity. These are all the very key factor, I would say. So I can give one example here, right? So in our previous organization, I worked with the France-based company. Okay, so as an HR, I'm planning to implement one new thing. There is nothing budget is going to involve. So we plan to implement a nap time in our organization. Okay. It will be 10 minutes nap time. Okay, in the afternoon. After 2 to 10, there will be the nap time. You just imagine when you are proposing this with the business leaders or the finance team, there, of course, I'm going to implement a nap time for 10 minutes. Okay, so everyone laughing at in the boardroom. Okay, what is going to be the difference? There will be 10 minutes nap time. What going to be make big difference in it? Maybe you can think of that someone innovative wellness programs and other stuff. But in my recommendation, I insist this because I know the situation the people are doing it, who are the people who are working in the company, all are designers. They are working in a 2 big monitors for a very long time. They completely do the design work of automobile industry, right? So considering that situation, I want to give some relaxation in eyes that would be related with wellness. We have implemented it. Definitely there is no budget in it. Business people are happily accepted. Finance team also happily accepted. But the ROI, the return on investment after implementing this nap time, we got the employee satisfaction level, particularly implementing this policy, it rises from 72 to 89%. You just imagine that, okay? You need to make a difference. You don't need that. You need to think in the bigger way. You have spent lots and lots of money there to implement anything. So what as a agile mindset, you need to completely understand the situation, and you need to recommend the tailor-made solutions, which is in line with the results. That's also very, very important because I have seen so many of companies, they are simply saying that there is a traditional set of benefits or traditional way of implementation, HR implementation plans. So definitely for worker. So I always say that don't need to go out of box thinking. You just think in a trendy way. That's all. Okay, what's the trend now? You need to think in such a way, maybe this trend may be outdated for next year. Possible, right? So instead of out of box thinking, you think in a way, in a trendy way. That is the in my opinion, that would be the agile mindset, be agile leadership, whatever you call it out. That would be helpful for a perfect leadership.
Okay. So I'll probably spend some time giving what are the traits that we need to build in ourselves to thrive in this agile ecosystem, right? When we're talking about careers, how do we future proof our careers? To give you a chronology or a timeline, right? My dad worked in a company for 35 years, retired there, got 3 promotions, and that was his track, right? And I've worked in about 9 companies now. And by the time you end your careers or you reach where I have reached, you have done at least 12, 13. Right? So the tenures are shrinking. You may see some people working in a company like 15 years, 20 years. Even then, if you observe their profile, they would have changed multiple roles in the same company. So 2 to 3 years is the shelf life of anyone in any particular role. If you are in a role for more than 2 years or 3 years, something is wrong. Right? That's the mindset. Because we have got to do comfort. Right? And a favorite anecdote that I use for my own self-reflection is 10 years of experience vis-a-vis 1 year of experience repeated 10 times. Which is better? 10 years of experience vis-a-vis 1 year of experience repeated 10 times. Which is better? Yeah. 10 years of experience. And these days, I'm not attending interviews, but if anyone asks me, tell me about yourself, etc., I don't tell them, I don't start with, I have 18 years of experience. I talk to them about the experiences that I've had. Experience of building a team around that, unfortunate experience of laying off a team, right? About mergers, about acquisitions, about how we handle COVID scenarios, or etc. So we talk about experiences, right? And even I'm sure I've attended multiple events as this, and student companies coming together and creating events like this is also an experience. Each one of you are gaining those experiences. So, from a business environment and ecosystem point of view, if we are looking for stability, then we are doomed. Stability is not something that will happen. Earlier, we used to make 5-year plans. I'm part of retail, right? I work with Aditya Future Group, and now Jockey. So we sell our products to our stores, right? It can be a Louis Philippe store, it can be a more grocery store, it can be a Jockey store, any of those. Earlier, before opening a store, we were asked to give a 15-year sales projection. What will happen to this store? What will be the store's EBITDA for 15 years? We need projection of sales volume EBITDA, then we'll upload this. Right? And even for businesses, we used to say, okay, it's the 5-year plan, etc. Do we still make plans? Yes, we still make plans. But those are notional plans. All the 5-year plans are junk. You constantly reevaluate your plans every 2 quarters and rewire. Right? To give you an example, I hope the recording is not shared anywhere because I'm not the spokesperson of Jockey and I'm not supposed to share information. But if you see how our business categories have shifted, our channels of sales, we sell to multiple forms. Right? You have a mom and pop store like a grocery store where you'll find Jockey. You'll find Jockey. Sales happening has shifted. And we are dedicated teams for each of these businesses. We'll have to change our plans. Will it stay the same for the next 3 years? No. It will keep changing. Right? So business keeps changing. You need to keep evolving. A framework that I have coined for myself, and like I said, I blog quite a bit on LinkedIn. The framework that I have coined for anyone who wants to thrive in careers is ABCDE. Right? So let me expand the ABCD for you. A stands for anti-fragility. Anyone of you here who read the book on anti-fragility? Okay. So there's a book by gentleman Nassim Nicholas Taleb. Heard about the author? Yeah. He's written a book called Anti-Fragility and he talks about this concept anti-fragility. We used to say, right, this is glass, handle with care, fragile, handle with care, etc., etc. He said from that approach of handle with care, we need to know something which is relatable to a muscle building kind of an exercise. Right? What happens during a muscle building? You put a lot of strain on your muscle through weights. Right? You'll have micro tears happening. And in recovery, they become stronger. Get that? So the concept is not trying to be in a comfort zone, looking for a comfort path. Right? Tell me what is, give me 3 things to get a placement. Right? What are the 5 things I should do? No one has answers. Everyone is figuring out answers. If anyone is saying future trend in next 5 years is what happened, the guy is a great storyteller and the guy is doing a good job of fooling around because no one has answers. Right? But the attitude of anti-fragility is tolerance and thriving in change. I know things are going to change. Right? So, anti-fragility. We need that muscle for change. Embracing change. Instead of getting scared of, oh, people are talking AI, people are talking technology, what will change, what will happen, etc., to change will happen. Nothing is changing, that is surprise. So, anti-fragility is one. B stands for business mindset. Right? Irrespective of whether I am in HR or legal or IT or marketing, you better know your business very, very well. The closer you are to the business, you are going to thrive. The farther you are from the business, you are part of cost center, you have cost, etc., etc. It's just not about the function, it's about the mindset. Right? How well do I know the business? Right? I'm sure all of you must be studying, macro environment, what are the business trends happening, etc., etc. The more you know about it, the better you'll be able to relate and succeed. That's one. C is customer mindset. Right? Always looking for how do I make life simple for others? Whoever is my customer / consumer, how do I make even if I'm a talent acquisition professional, how do I make life easy for my business guys who want talent, right? D, digital mindset. Embracing digital, I think that's what you are good at. For everything, you have digital alternatives, right? There's something called as digitization and digitalization. You know the difference? I was while coming to the airport, taking the flight, I saw two lines, right? So there's one line where where the security guard is checking your ID, looking at your ticket, matching your face, then saying, okay, go. And then there's a Digi, right? Where you walk in, the camera scans you and says no. Digi, there was hardly anyone there. And on the regular security, there are 4 or 5 lines of people waiting. The guy who is waiting in the line can actually download the app of Digiyatra, upload his documents and move here. It is so fast and so simple, right? But there is resistance, right? And if you see there is Digiyatra flashing everywhere in the airports, but still people like, okay, I don't know what it is. Let me know what I do. Let me do what I already know. Right? So that is, but fortunately for your generation, you are someone, you are digital natives, you embrace technology, but when you are trying to do it in organizations, wherever you go, you need to keep this in mind that you are a digital native. But still you are dealing with people who don't embrace technology that way. Right? But making more things more and more digital. Digital mindset, the last one is that empathy. Empathy for that multi-generational workforce whom you work with. A lot of places where I have seen management trainees coming in, they face challenge in integrating with the existing teams. Right? You will probably go into teams where others have 8-10 years of experience, and you'll be like 2 years experience, but you'll probably be earning the double of their salaries. And they're like, okay, I have to teach this guy and he'll earn more than me. A lot of those biases, hurdles that you will eventually face. Right? The tag of IIM will work for you in some places, will work against you in some places, but you need to provide that empathy to be able to try. So for you to thrive in this environment, my solution is ABCDE. Let me check my memory. Yeah, memory. A stands for anti-fragility. B for C for D. E. Okay, thank you.
So I think, the agility that we offer, right? I think both of them covered most of it. While I did make some notes, I think most of it was spoken about. But I'll tell you something from my experience, right? Or maybe the way industry is changing. Let's understand this. Why should we be agile first? What is the reason that everybody today is talking about agility in work? Why is that? Like the example he quoted, right? If you go, it's your own experience in going to a government office today, maybe to get some certificate done, right? So for somebody like our generation, the kids that are here grow, you will be tested with your perseverance, patience to make things happen. Right? That also is having agility to have perseverance or patience. Right? So why is everybody talking about having an agile mindset? Can anybody say why should we have? Why are everybody speaking about agility right now? Anybody?
In this era, what I have learned about being agile is everything changes very quickly these days.
Correct.
So to be able to change with the world, we should be agile.
Correct. So agile is a mindset to embrace change. That's what we are doing. So 2 years back or 3-4 years back, when Amazon came, Flipkart came, we said, wow, we're getting things on board. And then came Zepto, the mother of all, who's coming to deliver in minutes. Right? Today, they are one of the most successful unicorns in India. You see, 10 years back, we couldn't get a cab home. We are getting that now. So in this world, which is rapidly changing, and we've seen companies also, because of not adopting or embracing this change, organizations have also had to shut down. Right? We have so many examples, right? Kodak not taking the digital route. You have Apple coming and changing the entire mobile scenario. So this digital embracement, 20 years back, SBI, my uncle was a manager in SBI, and he took a voluntary retirement. He was managing one of the largest branches of SBI. As a bank manager, you command that respect and all that, right? But 20 years ago, he took a VRS, and one of the core reasons was to adapt to computerization of the branch, right? Now that, like the example, Ram also spoke about, is about embracing the change. And with all our experiences that we go through as people in the organization, in life, we have to continue, I would say, it's a mindset to be developed over time. It is not that we will get it overnight, aaj se main agile ho gaya. It's not going to be like that, right? So every situation that comes as an opportunity is presented for you. Maybe at times you have to stand up and take that opportunity. Maybe you have never spoken, maybe in front of 100 people, you get an opportunity, you go and take that up. That is a practice maybe we have to do every day, to do things that we never did and to do things we always did in a new way. Right? That is developing our agility in our approach, in our mindset, and it can be even at home. Right? It is about the change in our thinking to actually embrace whatever is to come in a right manner. Pressure can get on, disruption can be overnight. Today, the things that are happening in the world, it may be climatic, changing consumer behaviors, right? Everybody wants to go organic. So what are all the food companies doing? Growing healthier. But we know Ms. Louis looked at healthier options many years ago at PepsiCo, right? So that is the vision of a leader to anticipate how we go about it, right? And they change the dynamics of the organization. But as an employee of that organization, I have to embrace that change. I have to start looking at solutions. So that agility is very important, like we all are saying, but it is all the more becoming important now. And being agile, maybe as we get into more, we'll talk about what does future proofing mean? Thank you.
Thank you. I heard about some great examples from your previous organization, from Viki Yatra, was Amazon, Zepto, how we are growing. In fact, one very practical example which came to my mind, I think we all use Netflix, right? So, anyone knows how Netflix started? What was the starting idea? What was the starting?
CD.
So we started like a DVD rental, and now we all know where Netflix is. So if they as an organization have not adopted this agility, so what they did is they went to data analytics, they tried to see the .com bubble happen, and they tried to see how the industry is shifting, and then at the organization level they have this shift. And now it is such a big organization and we all understand it. So that's the one very practical example which we see and how an organization can change adopting these principles. Moving forward, my next question to the panelists is, how do you think the budding future leaders can develop agility and can develop this mindset? Maybe what practical skills they can acquire and how can they acquire these skills? Maybe start with you.
I would say firstly is the B part, which Ram said about ABCDE, plays a pivotal role. Right? Businesses are rapidly transforming themselves. And the environment is driving the change. Right? If I have to go to a business, how do I deliver greater quality is becoming a challenge. So, one of the things that we need to do in an organization is the ability to find, the compass of the organization needs to be understood. What is my organization going to do in the next 5 years? Where are we headed to? Is an important thing all of us need to actually mull as part of the organization. Right? That is one way of developing or embracing what is going to come, and also go back and contribute to the organization as to how things can change or how we can contribute. So the more we are aligned to business, what the business is actually shaping to, the more we will be ready to embrace that change. Or else we'll be caught in a flux where business changes faster than us and we don't know what to do and where to do. So be a part of the change by contributing to the change, understanding why the change is, and then you prep yourself. That's how I feel you should go about it. So business acumen is the first thing I would say that is very, very critical. Then the next comes is your own ability of, identifying skills, improving your knowledge, and working towards that. So a lot of networking needs to happen, a lot of research needs to be done, and thinking like a business is very, very important. Industry dynamics are very, very important. These are some things you should never leave constantly. And the best way to get is by talking to people, attending networking events, or talking to seniors in the organization, or hearing a lot, getting economic times maybe they'll all help you a lot in terms of preparing to be more agile during a change. I think these two are my top. We'll hear from now on.
Okay, so how do we build that muscle of agility? Right? In our pre-discussion, one of the professors was mentioning, we used to have a lot of people who used to do engineering and then come to MBA. Right? And all the engineers think in the same way. We are now glad that we have less percentage of engineers and there are more of others coming in, so that the thinking is becoming different. Right? Similarly, more women coming in, women ratio increasing, etc. All that you are talking is diversity. If you want to increase agility, what we need to do is increase diversity within our own self. Now, what do I mean by increasing that diversity? Is break the patterns. All of us live in our what I call as echo chambers. Right? Why I call echo chambers? I have my friends group of 4 or 5 people. Because they gossip with me, they pitch with me, we like common topics. We are good. But my thinking will not expand beyond the group. We are like that, we are that group only. We are defined by that. Right? We start doing similar things, and so there's a lot of sameness we are not saying. So you build a lot of patterns. What is at the core of agility? Core of agility is there are no patterns. Human nature is to find pattern. We want to see someone who dresses like me, parties like me, thinks like me, likes the sport that I like. Right? Human nature is to look for similarities. Agility is you will embrace richer experiences if you try different things. Right? I had a friend who never had Chinese. Like, I don't like Chinese. You never tried it, so how will you even know whether you like it or not? The richness in terms of those experiences. Embracing opportunities that come your way. I've never organized a fest, okay, let me go. I've never gone on a solo drive, long drive, let me do it. I've never read a fiction book, let me do it. Fiction who will read, time pass, novels who will read. No, do it. Things that are not necessarily related in your direction or path actually helps you expand your world. Right? I use an approach, I draw a distinction between two approaches. One is a bullseye approach. Bullseye approach is I'm very sharp and I'm thinking, this is what I want. What I want is a job in this organization with this CTC. Only that. Nothing else. When you are so focused with a bullseye approach, you lose out on a lot more opportunity. If you have a bullseye goal, all you will achieve is only that goal. If you have a compass goal, you relate to compass, right? Directionally, I know where I want to go, but I don't have a very specific direct path. I'll keep moving, embracing new experiences, etc. When I take the compass approach, I'll achieve more than what I had actually planned as a goal. Alright, and for that you need to embrace more experiences. Short answer for how do you build agility? Look for patterns in you, break those patterns. Getting up at 5 a.m., who will do that? Do it, break the pattern. In your behavior, in the books that you read, in the people whom you hang out with, anything, break the pattern that will widen your horizon.
So, in my opinion, it's like how you approaching things in a different way. That is the important. For example, the initial days we have big restaurants and other stuff. The group of restaurants is there. Now, the inline of business is completely changed into large. Right? So, because it is completely in line with the business is changing. Or else I can say that the agile mindset of leaders, they are changing. Right? Probably I'm not very sure about here the famous booklet and Tamil Nadu like they did the Sulbha Kaushal Rai, everyone famous is that. Initial days, no, they don't have much franchises. Okay? They have few outlets and most of the outlet they are not approaching that. Then the next generation of people who taking up the charges. Then they have increased the number of branches and they are more focusing on the franchises and the business in double the way. So that is the way how you are approaching the business in line with the current trends. I can give my example in my previous organization, what we have done that, after Corona, okay. There will be a big gap, skill gap, I can say. There are some senior leaders or senior people who are not very familiar with the using technologies. Okay. And I have a Gen Z or Gen Z crowd there who's a fresher, they don't know about the basics. Okay, the fundamental basics, there is the gap it would be there. So, I have proposed new thing there in the organization, kind of reverse manner. Right? The people who are in the Gen Z, they are going to teach technology to senior people. Okay. the senior people, they are going to give the fundamental of basics there to students. Maybe the freshers and others. Because we are very different. As an IT organization, most of my experience, I work with IT, ITs and IT infrastructure companies. So the fresher pool is more, I can say that close to 50 to 60% and the remaining 40% that we have. You just imagine the reverse metric. So you're going to reach the senior most people, they don't know how to use, so you be better than anything. These guys knows about these small technology related stuff. And the senior most people, they are teaching you about the basics, how you supposed to practice that, kind of stuff, or how your the team collaboration. So these are all the things we see in nowadays there in Gen Z. Okay? So they want to work via iPhone, then they left the organization just like that. Okay, you heard about these stories there. So this approach, this mindset, okay, gave a great results. Okay. So you just imagine the guy, the senior most guy who doesn't know how to do a video call or doing a Zoom call kind of stuff or anything related to designing related to boosters or something related with the core business factor. Now he is the expert at it. And the reverse side, the people who are joined in the fresher level, they are at least 7 level. I'm not saying that 100% I got the retention. But as a business perspective, the attrition level between the 0 to 2 years of experience drastically down. So that is the approach which you need to think about, right? So that's why I'm saying that you need to understand the business requirement, as everyone mentioned that depends on the business only, everything is fixed now. Starting from your approach or the leadership style, or you are recommending for any kind of proposals or policies, anything which is in line with your business. So whichever department you are working, you should understand the business very well. Otherwise, it will be bit tough while you are recommending any agile skills. You are trying it out. And one more thing, don't fear for failures. That is one of the important. The problem is for the fear factor gives you new ideas. That is my perspective. So whenever you are trying out, even for the recruitment front, IT, you guys know very well about that. Getting some of the gearhead also is there. Some of the niche skills they're getting in the market is really tough, right? So we know that it will be really tough to get in the market. What is the next solution? Probably I'm going to for a gig worker there. Nowadays also I can say that okay, now itself there are so many gig workers. Maybe in future after your graduation you are going to head of HR for 2-3 companies. Who knows? Possibilities there. Maybe I'm going to work in a 4-5 companies heading the project-based assignment. Maybe there might be a possibilities there. So the gig work, as per the statistics report, 2030, okay, currently is there, it's close to 21% or something. It's going to 4 times of the current trends. Definitely going to increase with the gig work. So as we should have a clear mindset that whatever come may, you need to have a different approach. Either it will be like a 96 work, or you love to do big work kind of stuff, or project-based related stuff. They're very clear, or very confident enough that we don't know. This you asked me in my current company, completely remote company. I think 2 months back I visited my office. After that, I never visited my office. All my work is completely remote. That is also is happening in the current scenario. So, as I mentioned in the first intro discussion there, the adaptability and the situation you need to keep it in our mind. So, anything is fine. The only thing is how you are improving, as you said, continuous learning, upskilling related stuff, and depends on the situation how you are adapting and giving recommendation for your organization. Those things.
discussion forward, I thought cover challenges at the leadership level, what challenges we face to develop an agile mindset in the organization, and how we can, as leaders, how leaders can overcome these barriers. Any thoughts around this?
So for agility and innovation to thrive, you need the culture to survive. I'll give you an interesting example. I don't know the exact details of the nation, but do you know the nation which had the maximum aircraft crashes? The country which has the highest number of aircraft crashes. Any idea? Okay. It's a South Korea. It's Korea. I need to validate South Korea, not Korea. It's Korea. And there is some research around it. So why is it this particular country has maximum number of crashes? And those of you who understand cultures, you know, there are some cultures where the manager is absolutely right. If he says it is 9 a.m. right now, he will say, yes, it's 9 a.m. right now, let's have breakfast. You are not supposed to oppose your manager or the leader. The leader is always right. It's a kind of culture. So because that kind of culture existed, and usually in a flight you have, right, first officer, pilot, etc., etc. Even the junior person, even though he or she was sensing something is not going right, you need to do something different. The communication did not happen to the sleep. How can I tell that you're not doing something right? How can I tell that you should be doing something different, etc. So the communication hardly happened there. And they were like, it's okay, what he's doing is right. And that's why he had more crashes in that particular nation. Do we see it happening in our organizations, culture, institutions? Yes. Initially, when someone tries to come up with a bright idea, they say, oh, okay, Samanvaya, do you don't have plans or whatever? No, I have a brilliant idea, let's do this. So if someone in the group says, it's okay, we have discussed and we are just going ahead. The guy will say, okay, fine, why should I break my head? The number of thinkers reduce. The number of doers increase. Even people who are capable of thinking will choose to become doers because their ideas were not accepted, because they didn't feel involved. Like, okay, three people are doing something, let them do. I know another great speaker, he can come, but no one asked me, so why should I bother? Right? So, in a culture where thinkers reduce, doers increase, agility, innovation, all of this can only be fancy terms. Can never happen. And if you want to build agility culture in the organization, then you need to encourage more and more leaders to embrace diversity, embrace collaboration, prefer talent over title. And you would avoid the syndrome called as the highest paid person in the room is right. Whenever you are discussing something, different people give different ideas. But when the highest paid person in the room will obviously be positive. Now say something, everybody will say, yeah, he's right. Let's get on. Right? So when everyone's voice is given equal opportunity, irrespective of their designations, etc., then you will see more quality discussions happening, more acceptance of each other's ideas, more peer learning, more brainstorming, more innovation, and will be more effective. Otherwise, Ravi gave example of Kodak. It's not that people knew that we should embrace digital. The film business is going down. People knew. But it's not that it happened overnight in 1 week. It happened over a few years. But few people decided this is my business and I'm not going to change. They were not open to others' ideas. A lot of people who have worked in Kodak at that point, they were like, I was screaming and saying you should change. No one was listening to me. Can you imagine that scenario? Yeah. So agility as a culture, if it has to come, then it's more about how ideas are embraced, designations, egos, etc. are underpinned.
Basically on how leadership, right? Leadership usually, if somebody is, let's say, the leader of the organization, he is usually looking at what compass the whole direction is taking. So which I think one of the beautiful things that we touched upon is the culture, which is making the organization more purpose driven. What is the purpose of the organization? And where are we going to head to next 5 minutes? That the compass becomes very, very clear. And for that compass, in order to build agility, even for the leader, the team that is working as a core leadership team needs to be more aligned with what is going to happen equally well. And building that team, which is going to navigate us to the future, will be primary thing of importance in order to really be agile. So if you look at, let's say that is why the concept of diversity, background of experiences, and all this come at the leadership level a lot more. And leaders today want to get it down to as low as possible because ideas can be given by anybody. Today, if organizations have embraced diversity a lot, it is to get that different opinion, so that in this world of transformation or continuous changing the world, they are able to navigate the change more successfully. They are able to preempt the risk more easily, and they are getting different ideas to actually choose what is best to do at that point. If you have 5 people thinking alike in the same room, like I think one of the things he said is the CEO is always right, or we'll go by that, and we don't create an atmosphere where people can voice their opinion as well. We are not doing it right because then we have a unique idea, only one way of looking at the problem. And that is why you will see diversity, inclusion, making every voice heard is an important aspect actually for the organization to navigate through the changing circumstances. And today, every manager in an organization, even a first-line manager in every organization, is actually trained or maybe is coached to actually build diverse teams, to build very people from maybe different sects, different places, and all. The second part at the leadership level for agility is also having a global outlook. Let's understand that we are no more like we are an Indian company. We sell only products in India. It cannot be the thing because there is a global, influence on everything we do, right? Even if you're an Indian company doing an Indian thing, there could be somebody who's importing that product at half the price and beating you at the game on the ground, right? And disruption can happen like this. With a small policy, it can change the game, right? So when that can happen, having a global outlook and trying to look at what are the changes that are happening globally is a very, very important mechanism for leaders to actually take into account. So I would say one is have a 30,000 vision towards where we are heading and what it is. The second part is build the right teams and build a culture in the organization that is helping you to make it navigate better.
I can go the points which you shared on the speakers. Because while as my idea organization, in most of my organization, everyone have a discussion point which is related with work from home, how we are getting a perfect productivity on how. So in most of my organization, we create a culture like everyone ideas to be here first and creating commitment, right? That is the other important factor which we are considering. I can say that before Corona itself in my previous organization we have work from home process. Okay. So before Corona itself we have a work from home policy for every month employee can be take work from home for 2 weeks. That's how in the to understanding the need of the employee or we value the employee suggestions. We have a system here. Whenever we are implementing anything new, it will be like a policy or a process or anything, we have a open door discussion with all them. So we hear everyone ideas and we can do a voting system and finally we come to the decision. It is not like with the leadership level. So that's the way we are creating commitment. This once the organization start valuing the employee voice or giving a value to each individual of the employee, I personally feel that the commitment will automatically create and the culture also will automatically. So I'll just give an example. When there is a heavy flood in Chennai, everyone appeared about that. That was a challenge time, and we as an IT organization we should deliver the product. Anyway, we have a discussion with US team, and they are giving some deadlines there. It will be a very tough work. There is no power, there is no internet facility, and everyone starts up in the flood areas. Those leadership, the leadership. The guy who's having 3 hours backup, he called the other area people and they have multiple internets there, they are using it, we have configured it. Right. So, as we can simply say that it will be a very critical situation, we are not able to complete the project and even the customer also they are willing to accept. If everyone is universal, that everyone understand the situation. It's like very bad and it will be tough to do complete the project. But as a committed resource, as a agile leadership mindset will be there, the commitment that they are working beyond the limit, I can say, and they have done those projects and completing. So as an organization, always we should create a value system for an employee. I believe that will create a positive culture and even we can encourage in the decision making point. Those things are very important. Even we have one more system there. There will be a second level leadership we are encouraging in each team. Right? It's not like only the head of the department or the project manager can take any decision in that. Okay, we encourage that. It's a kind of succession planning, and as well as we are encouraging and we are creating, we are inviting the second level leaders to be a part of the decision. So those are all the ways, as these two gentlemen mentioned, that about creating the positive environment and the positive culture. I have done it in my previous organization, got a very good results, particularly in the IT related segments. We got a very good positive response, and that would be the agile mindset, I guess.
Point space here. And so to carry forward, so look at the emerging trends. So what emerging trends do you see 5 years, 10 years, which will be impacting the agility in the leadership?
we are in a world of constant change, right? And the constant change is sometimes is not necessarily most of the times it's not in our control as well. It is extremely important while agility is one. I mean, on the topic of just future thinking, right, embracing the change. Embracing the change is driven through. So every organization has a purpose and has very clear goals. For example, the organization I work right now, Cargill has three core values. Right? One is the first core value is doing the right thing. So what does do the right thing actually mean? Right? Do the right thing is about doing right for the society, for the customers, for ourselves, for the organization. And then we speak about being people first. So people first, another way of respecting, having dignity and respect at work, right? And the third one is reach high. Doing better than just aesthetic can be reaching. Now, in this constant change that is happening with whatever the geopolitical changes and all that, technology is playing a faster role in enablement of the organization and the world, right? So, embracing technology is one of the first things that is the need of the hour for everyone. And so on the skill sets that are futuristic, right? So today you see moving, let's say in the tech world, right? Moving from on-prem to cloud is becoming all the more important. So every company that you go about is looking for cloud engineers, is looking for data engineers, because data again, the past is we are trying to predict the future. And that is why data is becoming more and more required. AI, ML, blockchain, these are all skill sets which are very, very important, right? But however, given that the topic is for building future-proof careers with that, it is not that all of us now will start learning Gen AI, ChatGPT, or coding, for example. I think there is a lot more roles, or there's a lot more careers that can be built using on these and developing ourselves towards being one of the contributors to the organization. Right? Often I see that one person gets into one kind of a job, all the rest of us follow, right? It's not about that. It's not driven. So the new age tech skills are going to come, and today we are talking about Gen AI. Somebody said ChatGPT before. Tomorrow morning it will be a completely new tech. What was C++ changed to Java? It's now moving ahead, right? So and this change is going to be faster. But the core element of it is about having problem solving skills, is about having logical reasoning, is about the behaviors associated when you contribute to the company. So I would say I'm sure artificial intelligence, all this is coming, and I do get asked, right? Will AI, how will it affect recruiting, for example? Right? How will AI remove the recruiter itself in the whole talent acquisition process? How many of you believe it is going to happen? No. No. It will happen to that an extent where you are able to match skills versus the role. But the actual assessment of a candidate for a role also has behavioral competencies. And that is where you require another human mind. Or you may take an assessment, but still the outlook of understanding the business, the ability to navigate through a situation. So when we do a lot of behavioral, how does the person's past predict his performance in the future as being evaluated at the end? Right? So while skills and the new skill sets are going to come, I think it is about staying not getting too very operational, but just to stay cut upon the rest, to move faster than them, is also the need of the hour, all of us, including us, right? Though we have 20 years, we also have to embrace the same change at the same pace as you all would do as you begin your career journey. So it's important for all of us to drive that. Yeah. So I'll carry forward the last point that Ravi mentioned. Future trends is a very common conference topic. Very can be open-ended question. My hypothesis for that is at an individual level, if your desire for change is faster than the pace of change around you, then you are ahead of it. If your desire for change is higher than the change of pace around you, you are ahead of it. So the only future trend is constantly staying ahead of the game. Don't wait for change to influence you, but be ahead of the game and embrace more and more change. And from that context, one of the competencies, the newest competency that has made entry into assistance. Take a guess. What is the newest competency that has made entry into talent assessment? We spoke about problem solving, analytical skill, project management, etc. etc. Take a guess on what is the latest competency that has made entry into assessment. Versatile, okay. Keep going. Gamification, no. It's a trait. It's a trait that one should have. Versatile, what others? Go ahead. Open to new changes. Adaptability, it's a word closer to that. I'm just looking for that exact word. Empathy, no, empathy is one decade ago. Agility is correct. Resilience, no. Someone said quick learner. Okay, something very, very, very close to that. Agreeable. Okay, I'll give it to you. The competency is, yeah. Adaptability. Some of you have come close to it. The answer is curiosity. Are you curious? Are you genuinely curious? Or are you learning? Are you changing because you have no choice? Right? Are you genuinely curious? So there are assessments built around it. There are programs, there are universities, and if you look up the internet, there are assessment tools. There's a Global Curiosity Institute. You can go there, take the index. Right? So we are looking for someone who is genuinely curious. When you are curious, change is not stress. Change is joy. Right? Otherwise, you get bored. And to an extent, all of us are like that, right? We want variety. But we want variety to a limited extent. After a point, we'll say, "Itna variety bas hai." Curiosity is something that, again, you can nurture curiosity. You are naturally inclined to a certain level of curiosity. That's something that can be nurtured. It's not something that you are born with. Curiosity, which will lead to being a lifelong learner, adaptable, all of those things. But the core of it is curious.
So feed your curiosity. Your career is future.
According to me, future trends, I can say, keywords. It will be like you need to automate all your business process, humanize your work, people. So that is the one word I can say. And the future trend definitely, as I told you earlier, the project based field works are going to increase a lot, right? It will be technical, or don't think that it's only unskilled labor going to do more field works. So probably the trend is expected more skill or niche skill set is going to increase in the gig market. So as you need to create a mindset, right now some of my friends are working in Amazon. They are recruiting people for days. It's not for years or months. If it is Diwali season, they need to recruit people in a gig way for 17 days. Okay, only for the 70 days you need to look out for people. Either you can tie up with the third level labor contractor or second level labor contractor or the team. You need to work with them for days. So the e-commerce industry, we are I can say the new age companies are increasing like so that would be you are in a position that you need to have different ideas to do it, right? And as well as which is related with the labor market concept more majorly project based hiring or the niche based hiring is going to increase a lot. And as currently it's not an option kind of work from home. It is the mandatory thing from the recruitment when you are recruiting any skill set, that will be a mandatory part, a major role. And wellness friend, okay, instead of more like a physical wellness, now we are more focusing on mental wellness, right? Because there is it's like they themselves creating stress and we are here treating them as stress management. So these are all the some the trending way and definitely to see increasing the data driven decision making. So that's how the analytics play the major role. So what are all the tools you are taking of any kind of HRMS, because we were discussing in the initial stage. Any company have not only the HRMS, I'm just talking about even the CRM part or any product which is related to the business. So the data driven decision making is going to be a major role of that will be increasing, going to be increasing in the trends. So what I would recommend as an agile mindset, you need to open your mind for learning, right? So any conditions or any changes you should open your mindset for your learning and adapting. That will be the best solution.
We started with what an agile mindset is, and we covered about technology challenges which we face. So moving on, what do you think? How important is collaboration and networking to develop an agile mindset? And also the second part of the same question, like how about diversity and inclusion? How important it is in the organizations, and how can it benefit organizations and people's leaders to develop an agile mindset?
You already touched upon it briefly, but maybe if you want to elaborate today, one of the things is maybe I would say as individuals, right? Especially just as a message to the young generation here, is to find a purpose-driven career for yourself, right? Many people, for example, right? How many of you really here in this classroom want to take up a sales job? Right? There are two people in a classroom maybe 5 or 6. How many of you want to become, maybe take up a marketing job, product management job? Right? You see, the acceptance by just the core job role is actually very low. But one thing maybe I'll also recommend you is sometimes you don't know where that role can actually take you as well. Right? A sales role can actually bring so much of confidence in your own career, own life, that you will be able to manage a situation a lot more better because of the experiences you go through or the rejections you go through on the ground. Half of us, like even when I say, okay, you're all passing out from the MBA school, right? How many of you really want to be a recruiter? Right? Suppose if I say recruiting has target to upload 70 CVs every day. How many of you will still be keen? Right? So the idea is, the point I'm trying to make is we are afraid of targets. We'll say, because there's a target, oh, if I don't achieve, I'll maybe lose my job or I'll be, condemned to job. But tell me, what is something we don't do without keeping a target? If you have to pass an exam, you need to have a target. Right? The point I'm trying to make is, I think often we go by some precedent and we try to make a decision on that. So we should be able to, and that's also agility, right? Is to able to accept, like it, and find the purpose of where you are good at first. Take up careers where you are really, it'll come, maybe the first role you may go wrong, but the second role you will get right. Right? But it is about identifying what is your strength, like I was just meeting somebody. The person has done graduation in math. The minute she said math, I said, maybe you should look at, statistics, number crunching kind of roles. Maybe because you like math is good, but somebody it's not that nobody else can do that, but somebody else may be good in customer negotiation. So customer service kind of a role is maybe better. So find that, and that once you find where you are good at, sometimes if you don't know, you can take whatever it is and try to find interest in that. What will you find, right? So if you are able to do that, I think you will be able to build a longer career without much of a change because you like what you do. And let it not be compensation driven alone, because if you look at the sum of averages, maybe somebody may start low, somebody may start high. But the trajectory that you will take on an average, if you compare after a few years, will be plus or minus. So there'll always be outliers. There'll always be outliers. There'll always be, in everything, there'll be an outlier. The point I'm trying to make is, I think, driven by purpose or finding where we really want to go is very, very difficult. So try to identify that. It's not that tomorrow morning you decide, because I commented about sales here, all of you will try a sales. Right? It is about really trying to identify where do I want to go. It is about, let's say, somebody's son got a role as a business analyst, so I want to become a business analyst. No. If you're able to understand a problem and you're really technically good to really translate it, if you feel you have it in you, then you please apply for that. So the more you find that purpose, the better you will build your career, which will also be future proof because you are evolving along with your interests. If not, you will actually be left out in the journey. That's what I like. So DI inclusion, of course, we spoke about it. Is about maybe I spoke about it. Maybe I'll let Rams.
Yeah, I think DI we have spoken about in terms of collaboration in various aspects. How do you improve your own networking? That's a piece that I'll stress on. And this is something that I practice on my own. In a month, I take a month as a unit. In a month, I'll interact with 2 people outside of my industry, outside of my function. Someone who is not in HR, someone who is not in retail FMCG. Interact with them, have a conversation. And what I've learned over a period of time is when you stop the utilitarian approach. What I mean by utilitarian approach is where you are looking for an outcome from every small piece. Array, someone told me read this book, what will I get out of it? Someone told me let's go for this event, what will I get out of it? Looking for an output from every unit of investment is better, right? Networking, the approach is like a treasure. You approach it with curiosity, approach people, talk to them, understand what they are doing, etc., etc. Your return will be higher than what you have, whatever is the time that you invested. That is for sure. Right? So talk to people outside of your domain. Again, step out of the echo chamber. Right? Have conversation with people from other IIMs. Have conversations with your alumni. Have conversations with people who have never landed in any IIMs for recruitment. Right? That way you are expanding your network. You're establishing newer pathways through this. Right? Could be books. So what I do is interact with people outside of my industry. That happens because I take it as a guideline that I attend 2 events in a month. Like this was one, right? And I have interacted with 2 other leaders who are very, very different from what I do. Right? We'll have conversations, these conversations will continue. Right? 2 events, 2 people, 2 books, right? And 2 hours of doing nothing in a week. Which is very, 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 very important and very difficult. 2 hours in a week, doing nothing but self-reflection. Right? What am I doing? Where am I headed? What can be something very different that I do, etc. It's not me time like meditation or going on a solo drive, etc. It's about sitting for 2 hours in a week on self-reflection.
See, on the topic of networking and collaboration, let's understand why do you think it's important actually? Why is networking important?
People that are from different domains and gain the knowledge that you lack somewhere.
Gain the knowledge you lack somewhere, okay? Did you know?
We always get a different perspective or a different thinking of a topic. That's what one of the benefits of networking.
Right. Timeless perspective. Yes. You get various ideas and new experiences. Okay. Now. Want to write it down first? Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Can you come again? The person gets to learn his strengths and weaknesses, right? Very good. Yes, somebody else will say. Sorry, who is better than the thesis? right? So networking, so in an organization, right? In an organization to add an idea, sometimes maybe you have a better connect outside to actually bring that perspective onto the inside. And hence, why do you go to these conferences and all that? To hear what is happening, to gain an insight and go back. For example, I'll tell you how networking can help. Even in my role, right, as TA, we are always looking at talent. Right? We want to attract the talent. In an organization, very interestingly, they implemented a referral program for the candidates that we just made an offer. That person can also refer. Right now, I found that very interesting, and now I'm starting to look at if I can try. Right, in my ecosystem, how does it work? Right. So as basic as that, to very strategic points about the industry, the coverage, the compass that I told you, so many dynamic information that you can gain will help you build that. Second, on diversity and inclusion is also about the diversity perspective. Somebody can be in the business, can be within the organization. Right? So it brings both together to develop the agility as an organization, as an individual for you, and also opens up our own horizon. Right? That's very, very important.
My recommendation of the networking is not only for the particular group. There are some there, okay, only networking is for related with marketing or HR. No need of networking with finance, or they can be isolated and they can work. That's their wish, right? So, two things as my style of networking, how I am doing it. See, definitely there will be a virtual networking, social media, particularly related with LinkedIn. We can, as Ram mentioned, that I engage with diversified skill set people, connecting with people. And why networking is very important to each role is, first of all, the knowledge sharing or the getting the ideas and other stuff, everything is fine. But when you need any industry related happenings or industry related best practices you want to do that, you should have someone there can give references, because you are finding it something. If you ask me, my case when I am finding anything related with finance, my industry, I have few chartered accountant who can able to guide us in an organization level perspective. They can able to support the stream. Maybe it is also in a mindset. No need that you need to go the unknown person getting the guidance of it better. You can go with the known person getting the guidance. That is the one thing I can say that. And another one, I always create one set of network with my hobby list. So definitely everyone have one hobby. Okay, anything you are doing in chat also that's hobby there. You are doing any extracurricular activity that is also considered hobby, or you are into schools that also is hobby. So as that hobby, maybe sometimes you can make you professional. Right? I given a live example there. One of my junior who worked with me under me in HR department in IT organization. He's not great into recruitment actually. He's into recruitment. He's I can say that it would be a above average performer. He's not a great performer. But what his hobby is completely gardening. Right? He loved to have gardening there, and he have a set of pool of friends which would be related with hobbies and other stuff. Now he completely moved from HR. He started his own company, majorly focusing on gardening. Right? He started a company majorly focusing on gardening. All the big star hotels or maybe it would be a big apartments, the complete gardening work his company is doing. Roughly, he can generate a revenue of 60 lakhs per year. I'm just saying that if you be in the recruitment trend also, maybe you are not able hear this much. One more story, the HR person who's act as a BJ in his own company. This is passion he's doing, he is managing in the daytime work, he is doing the kind of HR and the official work he is doing in the weekend as well as the free time. So what I'm trying to say, the network with not only your industry, your hobby-based team or hobby-based friends, that will give and make you professional also. There is the probability is there. And I always insisting that the students should continue the networking till you become even in the top level of the company, you should continue that. The problem with most of the students is started in LinkedIn. Maybe over a period of time, they connect with the professionals who are majorly with some purpose like internship or job related stuff. Then after that, it will be completely diverting or they are not following continuously. So the network, the completion is not the network is not complete. And I can say that in future, because right now the job portal costs are increasing like anything. If you have a very good network, if you are going to be you are going to join the recruitment team, you have a great future, right? So if you ask me, without Naukri, I can able to get profiles like CEO level, I can able to make it. Definitely the person who's in the panel, they can able to do that. Because the kind of networking which we have in a diversified field, that is one of the important quality. You can take it as a agile leadership or controlling the cost, or whatever it may be, it is related with the organization. Definitely, you'll be the unique masters in the crowd. So, networking play the major role. It is purely up to you. You are joining with the HR forum or any other forum there, or you are participating in the conferences. Get new friends. Always, I want to attend the conference. No one knows to me. Then when I may get new connects. As Ram has mentioned that okay, today we are meeting, I don't know all the three people. Now I'm meeting another three. Right? Then it will be increasing like anything you have. If you ask me across globe, I have a connects. You name it up any companies, I can able to put some references to get the information. So that is the basic requirement or power of networking. So from the student level, you need to continue your networking, whichever the field will be, and whichever the way it will be. I'm not. This is my style. So I am doing it in my style. That okay, completely I am doing virtual. Whoever asking for any questions or any support, student or professional, I am giving my response. And I'm connecting with people with the diversified industry, hobby-based networking, I am doing it. So it is my style. I am not asking you to do the same style with you. Okay? It is purely up to you. But these are all the benefits out of the networking. How you are making out to do it, you can decide and do. Right?
Any question? Audience, any big question?
Very and I have a question. That is for all have a vision, a goal to want to achieve. And it was mentioned that we should not just stick to one path, but find a diversified field of tasks or things. So how can we still have a diversified, we try out many things, but still don't lose our vision? So how can we do that? How can we have a balance between it?
So, like I said, bullseye and compass. Your compass is for the long term. Your bullseye is for the short term. Right? But don't make it too sharp. Even for the power of network to play, the possibilities are humongous. So even your bullseye goal, don't say that, okay, I want this company, this role, this city, this CBC. Don't keep it that way. So I want to get into a consumer durables company. Right, for that I network with HR people, sales people, etc., of those companies. I'll connect with them on LinkedIn. I'll participate in those kind of forums. Right. I had a friend who wanted to move to Singapore and get into HR. I said, okay, now fill your network with that. In your LinkedIn right now, or your Insta, or wherever, how many people from Singapore are there? No one. How many people from Singapore in HR? No one. So what's the chance of you landing something in Singapore? None. Right? So you cultivate that network, attend few events, get to know people. Then luck can play a role. Right? For luck to play, you need to be at the right place, create the right network, etc. So I would not recommend having a very sharp bullseye goal because that will reduce your possibilities. So today we are generally we develop only one or two skill sets in terms of the tech skill that is usually just 2 or 3. So actually, I don't know if you heard the previous discussion, right? I think today we need a lot of T-shaped skill sets, T-shaped people in organizations, right? What is T-shaped? Somebody who's good in the domain, like the straight line, but have a broad ability to connect that team across maybe industries, maybe functions, or anything else. So suppose you are good at analytics as a whole, the ability to look at supply chain analytics, procurement analytics, HR analytics is the ability for you to be reading from. So one is domain expertise, right? Now you are getting your analytics as a domain expert. You are a sales expert. So ability to sell, do B2B sales or B2C sales is the broad experience. Again, cutting across industries or selling right from soaps to refrigerators, right? Is the broad-based thing. So that is what we should have. We should develop 1 or 2 basic competencies that will make you a champion in that. In that competency, you're like a subject matter expert. And then you're looking at applying them across a broad range of. I think that will give a long career in terms of looking at, really, I mean, in terms of, it will just open up a whole lot of opportunities for you. And at the same time, if you actually bring the outside in terms of the industry experience or how the world is changing, it will give you more better experiences and make your professional life very, I would say very thrilling. You get all the more new experiences if you actually try.
Talking about diversity and non-diversity. So, what are some HR practices that companies are implementing or should be implementing to promote cross-functional experience?
So companies definitely give a lot of cross-functional experience. These days, many organizations have a lot of internal job opportunities that are spread out. They definitely, I mean, all the organizations actually want diverse experiences. So I think it's in a very advanced stage right now of providing that. You should have the domain skill and but you should have developed an eye for it, right? I mean, that's what managers look at. But managers are giving a lot of opportunities internally to people, not just from a diversity perspective, but that's the growth of the organization. That there is already a lot of work that's being done by many organizations. Like I think Ram also spoke about, it's not about vertical growth. Today, in most organizations, the change is in lateral movements across functions, across, I wouldn't say a finance guy will become a HR guy. That also happens actually, but it is about the ability to do that, right? That is the broad basedness with which you are coming into the organization. So the more you develop an eye for it, like I said, like through your developing that capability or insight will take you there. But it's already in place. And a lot of training programs are also there.
So the practices are job rotation, talent mobility. Most organizations have a 3 by 3 by 3, which means every 3 years should be changing the function or should be changing the geography, right? Or the team, etc. So by default, those changes are designed. That way you're getting cross-functional exposure.
So, good evening, everyone. So, my question is from Ravikanth sir. So, since we talked about DEI, that is diversity, equity, and inclusion, and one of the core values of Cargill is also people first. So, I wanted to ask you how Cargill ensures that this concept or perspective is actually being followed in the organization, and also what role did technology plays or can play in ensuring that this concept is being implemented in any organization effectively.
So I have spent 7 years in Cargill. Okay? And one thing that amazes me every day, even today, is Cargill is an organization that is 150 years old. Okay? And 150 years longevity for a company. We have seen the organization itself has seen a lot of ups and downs, right? And the evolution of the whole organization happened through maybe World War, right? And recently the pandemic. Right? But for an organization to stay that long and looking for another maybe 150 years, it is what is the real core thing that actually made them stand for so many years, right? It is the people. And it is the DNA or the values of the organization that it has kept for itself. Like the 3 values that you were right? So from a DEI perspective, of course, Cargill is also very global. We operate in 125 countries. We actually are there in almost 125 countries. We have 160,000 people globally there. Imagine the number of cultures you work. Today, as we also speak about future proofing, right? Embracing other cultures, appreciating people from different cultures is one of the core things, right? And the way we do it is actually through the management. So internally, everybody is equipped, especially the people managers are equipped with tools to embrace or drive diversity and on the ground. That is one. 2, it is driven by action by the leadership in the organization. Wherein if our CEO is promised to, let's say, look at 30% diversity in the boardroom, we are able to achieve that and it percolates down. So diversity is driven by action in the organization. And one of the core values, like I was also saying, is treating people with dignity and respect, is the ability to show that on the floor. And that is a non-negotiable thing that we do. So when I initially joined, right? So I also often think this. Every year, let's say only in India, we hire about 1,000 people. And everybody comes with their own past experience, right, of another organization. Usually we do based on. Now, how will they embrace to this is the whole HR story to make people aligned to the purpose of the organization. And that is driven through consistent communication within the organization. For example, you have training programs that you have to complete. And they are periodically done within the organization. on creating a respectful workplace, and so those many programs drive that, attitude, or they build that in the whole organization to work in a very looking at diversity, accepting that, and driving the inclusion and creating inclusion.
Any last question?
My question is, as the industry is adapting to the hybrid model, so there is a challenge for the employees that how can they interact with each other? There is a lesser interaction among them. So how can they adapt to these challenges and make new connections and understand the company's culture?
Yeah, so I'm sure we can add a lot of because IT really will get a complete remote environment. Right? Earlier we used to go offsite. You go here for 3-4 days, discuss business plans, etc., come back. So a lot of work used to happen in offsite. These days, coming to office is offsite. You go to office, no agenda, just meet people, hi, hello, have conversations, get to know people. So that when you go back, you're not talking to a stranger digitally. It's not a name in the database. There is a face to the name. Right? So a lot of these initiatives are being driven where people get to know each other. At least teams that have to work together get to know each other. So that's an essential. So those offsites and bonding is an essential element of culture.
We have implemented every Tuesday there is no virtual meeting. It's only walking meeting day. If any meetings we are fixing it on Tuesday, they should come to our office. There is no boardroom or anything there. We need to walk around the IT corridor. We have a discussion. That is the one way. It's a kind of wellness initiative, and people also love to walk and they want to focus the discussion. Don't think that it will be like a just chit-chat discussion there. The outcome was very good. One. And the second one, we have also it's the indirect in-person meet, which is happening on every Friday. So every Friday there will be a coffee time meet between 11 to 12. You can come, no official work, nothing there. You can have a coffee with your friends or your team. You can create a gang that is purely free, right? There will be only chit chat and the fun moment, connecting with people. Even the boss also will come between this 11 to 12 anytime, 10 minutes, 1 hour, anything there. So these two connections give better results in my organization. That is the easiest way also. The people waiting for these days and they also love to come. It's not like all in the 22/7 they want to do it in work from home option there. So sometimes we are all watching movies, we want to go to the movie more excited. Correct? The same way we are also encouraging.
So I have a follow-up question on that.
Yeah.
So we saw about the concept. When how to ensure that it does not exist and it does not hinder the productivity of ownership of that.
You switch off all lights. Okay, 10 minutes after 10 minutes you switch off. See, this is the easiest way, including the cabins, all the lights switch off, right? So we are insisting there as a rule book You're saying that you should not switch on your mobile or your monitor. That will be distracting the others. So this 10 minutes, you can completely switch off system. Then the security responsibility after 10 minutes is switch off. Definitely once you switch off the sleep will definitely wake up. It's not, I'm telling you can also try it, but I'm telling you not in the classroom, I'm just saying that this 10 minutes it will give a relaxation because I have tried. Because that 10 minutes without anything, please put it on your silent. Just 10 minutes, don't think anything about that. Okay, you just have a nap. After 10 minutes, you get a fresh mindset. At least you feel something relaxed. Even when people are asking about playing music for 10 minutes, that would be a really tough call for us. Because one guy is liking jazz and one guy is liking melody, one guy is liking rock. It would be really tough to convince them as the complete scenario. Right? So, you can hear your music. You have your mobile, that you can allow. So this is the right way. Other than that, we are not able to individually. I'm not able to go and say that we 10 minutes walking it out. And we have planned to do one more thing. There is one pop-up coming from your mobile that is also in the discussion. Okay, it's like alarm kind of stuff. 10 minutes, just alert. But switch on, switch off, switch off, switch on. That will give to the customer.
So actually, culture piece. On the culture piece, I just want to tell you that every organization, if we have to build culture, let's define it, right? What do you want your employees to follow as a culture becomes a very important thing. And once you decide on that, which is based on your values and what your organization is into, and as you join new organizations, you will look into it a lot more, is to reinforce that through a top-down approach within the organization. Reinforcing doesn't mean a leadership message comes every Monday morning or Tuesday morning. Right? Reinforcing means that the whole organization accepts that as a rule or as something that we must follow. For example, integrity, right? Whatever happens in the organization, we must follow integrity, right? We must follow, maybe as an organization, we should obey the law. So even if something like Cargill, because we have so many manufacturing plants, for example, safety is very important, right? Safety of our employees is an extremely important priority for us. And while safety can be seen, there could be accidents in the plants. What is safety in a corporate office? But we have a safety principle that if you see something that is maybe creates a risk of a safe environment, you should call it out. Now, how do you drive that? That is driven through consistent communication on the floor and say, speak up. If you say, let's say you have a glass and the glass is too wide that you may bump into it, or you have, let's say, sofa sets in the cafeteria that are not properly maybe paved, speak up about it, right? Because it can cause a safety hazard in the individual. So culture is about, so to your question, you reinforce culture by creating maybe a framework, but it is important to be driven by action on the floor to embrace it or to actually imbibe it in your day-to-day work. And culture actually will start impacting then from the office in your personal life, that you will generally in Cargill joke, right? Today, if I'm really driving a long drive, I ensure my children of the back definitely wear the seatbelt. We hold in our cabs every day when we go to office, right? Or we look at safety parameters first a lot. I have observed the change in myself. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's what culture does to you. Only you wanna-
Thank you all. We had a great session with varied insights across industries from fintech and data towards retail and towards some insights from agri and food industry. So we covered a lot of areas where we talked about breaking the barriers within talked about practices, including 10-minute math, which is a new practice which some of the organizations are starting to follow. We talked about talent recycling. We talked about future trends on like movement of from on-prem to cloud and emerging technologies like Gen AI. We also talked about where Mr. Ram suggested about staying ahead of the game and curiosity index. So I'm pretty sure we had a lot of insights derived from this session. One quick point which I would like to sum this up with, maybe we can think about breaking the barriers within and trying to develop agility from our perspective today itself so that we can emerge, we can understand and we can truly see if it our day-to-day activity.
Let me ask the students one question. Maybe one question to all of you. What are some few things that you gained or would you like to, maybe you will learn or do to make your careers future-proof? What did you maybe take away from here?
So what I really like was the core competency capacity, and so that is my takeaway. And I keep on asking and be more curious about everything I learned from this thing. I also like to ask as many questions as possible because I'm always curious why this is happening, why something is not happening in a different way. That is the thing.
Anybody else?
I like to implement the networking things like now I'm connecting with people from different moments. Like earlier I was in IT movement, so I know more about IT, but now in perspective of different people of operations, marketing, and implement this networking things by connecting with people.
Networking and reflection is good. Yeah. That's nice. Anybody else?
So I like the anti-productive part, not just anti-productive, but being resistant to that and
Then ready to be have to change or even period. This time to learn more new things.
I like the T-shaped structure we talked about. I never looked at it that way, that different domains. So I will definitely try to look at that.
There is nothing wrong in being even an I. So you have IT and there's nothing wrong. I'm saying in order to be future-proof, the more experiences you take, broad domains, how you actually anticipate, how you are able to apply, let's say, a supply chain problem to maybe a procurement problem to something else, will make it future-proof. That's what I'm saying. The more you broaden your horizon, the more possibilities will open up. Yeah.
The most testing take for me was when the answer said that your propensity to embrace change should be more than the rate of change that is actually happening.
Correct.
And I think that is the key takeaway.
Expanding network. Nice. Be curious and expand your network. There is one point which I thought somebody will tell, which nobody's told it till now. Okay. That will broaden your perspective. That's good. Ram spoke about it. It is about developing business acumen, staying closer to the business, right? As future employees or running your organizations or just working in the online setup, it is extremely important to understand your business. If you have that business acumen, if you don't work on that, it will be very difficult for you to give the inputs or embrace change. Given whatever direction the organization takes, you should be able to. So connect with business leaders, understand their messages, understand the crux of it, research on it, see what are the new trends are happening. Is a consistent habit all of us should build to actually develop that acumen to anticipate what is coming, prepare ourselves for the future, right? So please stay closer to the business, read a lot about the industry. You have such wonderful platforms. You have leaders coming and talking to you. You can connect with many of your super seniors now who will come and give you a lot of information on the industry. I think that is one. That's
We shared a lot of inputs. So we are able to implement those. I've been to many IIMs, but what I find very interesting with this group is that many of you have already connected with me on LinkedIn. So those of you who have not yet connected, you can find me as Kaushal on LinkedIn, and I'll be sharing more stories and we will have conversations. So much.
Extend our sincere gratitude to all the guests and our moderator for this enriching event. The theme MBA Next, Shaping Tomorrow's Business Leaders, resonates deeply with the evolving landscape of the modern workplace. Discussions on future-proofing careers, developing agile mindsets in business leadership were both insightful and thoughtful. I would now like to quickly summarize key takeaways so that on behalf of all the students. Mr. Pandya Raghuratha sir opened up the discussion with the primary concept of how collaboration is the key in developing agile mindset. So introduce the concept of how reverse mentoring is the need of the hour. Develop a blue ocean strategy for ourselves, be different and upskill continuously, especially by bridging the gaps in learning and working with technology. From an organization point of view, creating a culture of commitment within the organization by automating processes and humanizing people was also key. Niche skill sets is the future trends, and hence continuous learning is very, very important. Ram sir then got us back to our basics. He taught us the ABCDE, but then here this time a very important model on how anti-fragility, business mindset, customer mindset, and empathy are the key drivers. So it also gave us insights to be agile and future-proof our careers by breaking patterns and exploring. Be a thinker and not a doer. Embrace diversity and ideas and prefer talent over title. Curiosity must be in our DNA for future-proofing, and when we are genuinely curious, fear to change transforms to joy. So also touched upon the importance of how our network defines our net worth. But at the same time, also we must allocate time for ourselves to self-reflect. Ravikanth sir emphasized developing an agile mindset takes time, and that doing new things and to do things that we've already done in a novel way is the key and is the demand. Developing the business acumen is critical, and identifying the skills that we possess is even more. Organizations should have a global outlook to combat the challenges of agility, and individuals need to start thinking like a business. It's important to be a part and contribute to the ever-changing environment. So derived and real-time example from Cargill on how the core values like doing the right thing, being people first, and to reach higher is the need of the hour. Lastly, Learning from the T-shaped skill sets, we must develop an ability to connect between multiple business domains to add value. And the session was beautifully curated by Akanksha ma'am. Thank you very much for taking out the time and we're proud of you being our alumni ma'am. Thank you very much. Our guests with the token of gratitude. I request Professor Deepak, Chair of Placement, to present a token of gratitude to Ravikanth. Next, I would like to request Professor Woodkers, Chair of Placements, to present a token of gratitude to Pandya. Now, I'd like to request Professor Shubham Sharma, MD of the HR, to present a token of gratitude to Ram. Which released in June 2024. So he would like to give us complimentary copies to our libraries for us to delve into the book and it's kind of very. Next, I would like to request Mr. Atul sir, SAO, to present a token of gratitude to Akanksha. Opportunity for various aspects of continuous learning, from developing personalized learning paths to leveraging technology for skill development, and from catering inclusive learning environments to measuring the impact of learning initiatives was invaluable. We have heard from the thought leaders and industry experts who have shared their insights and experiences, providing us with valuable perspectives on how to empower our workforce and for a sustained career. Once again, thank you for such a well-curated session and an impactful event. We will look forward to future engagements that will continue to foster learning and collaboration with the organization. Thank you so much.
Give it for Take it.